Welcome to our Free Speech Zone, where we do a deep dive into trauma and reintegration. This is Combat Citizen. Welcome back to the Combat Citizen podcast, where we do a deep dive into your trauma and reintegration. So thank you again for the likes and the subscribes. I know we're getting out there, so just continue watching. Thank you for watching this next episode. So got a good buddy of mine, Jake, and yeah, good friend. So haven't really talked for a while. We've just been doing Messenger. So, but anyways, introduce Jake here. Just kind of give a little bit about yourself, and then kind of we'll roll into a little bit about before you got in the military. So it's all yours, Jake.
Hey, pretty much I used to be in the Army, just normal Joe. Now basically I have a big family, doing contracted business and stuff like all that,
So let's do this. Let's make it easier on you. So questions for you. So describe a little bit about yourself before you got in the military, age, or what kind of got you into wanting you to get into the military?
Oh, so let's see here. High school. I was all about being in the military. I want to be that guy. I just want to be that guy. Hey, I did it. I'm the person that's a badass. Shoot. I had so much testosterone going through my body. It was ridiculous. I was like, I was ready to kill, I had that mentality. I mean, I want to be that guy. So
did you get that from your family, your friends, or anybody else?
No, actually, no, at all. I think that's mostly just my environment. I mean, almost my entire family has been in the military. I mean, I got some that's been in the Navy, Army, Marines.
Okay.
It's just the fact. Yeah, it was just very, very open. I don't know. I was like 17, 18 at the time, and I was training up for it. Actually, I didn't even want to join the Army at all.
What did you want to join?
I wanted to be in the Coast Guard.
Really?
Yes, actually, that was my dream job.
Have you told Isaac that? Just letting you know.
Isaac? Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I told him that's actually my dream job, but my brother-in-law and my best friend, that's in England, they convinced me to go in the Army. Because it's like, oh, it's badass. Oh, that's cool.
So that's where you got the badass from.
Yeah. I was like, I want to be a rescue swimmer in the Coast Guard, because that was like, to me, it was the coolest job, especially after watching the movie Guardian, and like, oh, dude, I want to be that guy.
Wait, were you a swimmer in high school?
Oh, no, I wasn't a swimmer, but I was a lifeguard. I was a lifeguard. I was a swim teacher. And I did lifeguarding for about 9 years, including in the Army.
Oh, you actually did lifeguard in the Army?
Oh yeah. So I got that, what I call it, G3 lifeguarding. So basically the Army pays for your classes and you become a certified lifeguard for the battalion. So that way you can do beach PT. So like in Hawaii,
okay,
I was the battalion lifeguard. So they could do, yeah.
Okay. So let's take it back. So you get into the military, or what was the experience of getting into the military? Was it kind of a normal experience? Was it like, hey, kind of an oddball thing? I'm just curious.
Well, how's this? Let's go back with the reason why I joined the Army. I mean, so I tried the test. Let's just say I'm not a book smart person. I mean, I know I'm a really smart guy, but I've always had this problem when it comes to pressure. I can't do it. When I say pressure, it means books, tests.
Sure, tests. Mhm.
I was terrible at it. I mean, I'm a smart guy. I just when it comes to that, terrible. But I waited for another year. But so I started doing a job here in Oregon. It's called Hall Oaks. It's a place, a mill.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I was just hating life. I just hating myself. Got to the point I was starting to do drugs. And I say drugs, weed, shrooms,
Everything.
things like that. I was just not liking the way my life was going at all. So I decided to work harder and harder. And so I passed the test. I was able to get in the Army. That was like the most exciting thing ever. That was my dream. I wanted to get in the military so bad.
Sure.
And so and then I finally did it. Went into basic. That was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
Kind of Joe Starnes, hey guys, want to have a pizza party? I was like, what?
It was a trick question, right?
Oh no, they did feed us pizzas and not let the first sergeants know.
Oh, okay.
But the next day we paid for it. So
we had the in basic we had the you can eat sweets if you want, but you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, that's how it was. So anyways, yeah.
So you get in the military.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? I mean, what was your first duty station? What was those kind of things like?
Well, my first station was in Honolulu, Hawaii, on Schofield Barracks. I was there for 3 years. I deployed once with them. Truthfully, that unit was actually well squared away. Like very, you know what? I regretted leaving that base. It was so squared away. I was actually pretty happy there. But I want to try something different in my career. Then I went to the station. But I'll tell you what, it's very family oriented over there. Well, at least my station. I was in Cacti 235, which is right next to the Wolfhounds.
So basically, one of the first guests that was on the show is what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was actually my battalion was like across the street from his. Literally,
you pretty much swing at him. Yeah. Okay.
So, I enjoyed it. It was very family oriented, especially if you're married. It was, we did a lot of luauts.
So what was your? No, go ahead. Just finish.
The single soldiers got screwed because they had to do all the work, like the cotton candy machine, serving food, while us married guys, get to have fun. Yeah.
So you wanted something different. So what did you go and do? Okay. So what was your first MLS then? I know you said what, infantry?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I never changed. I just changed my station.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did you change your station to?
Fort Carson in Colorado.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you this. Hawaii is such a squared away place.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful, but you get to the point where you're gonna hate it because it's an island. You get to the point where you feel trapped. Colorado is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is
amazing. Yes. I just bad experience there.
Yeah, I lived in Colorado Springs, so I can understand the how beautiful it is there. So
yes.
So how long were you there?
I was there for almost 3 years as well, and yeah, I mean, it was a nice place. I just didn't respect it. Didn't respect the unit there. It was pretty bad. Yeah.
So when did you discover that it was like that? I mean, like right off the bat when you got there, or?
Oh yeah, right off the bat. Oh shoot! When I was in Hawaii, I'll tell you what. I always hear bad things about lieutenants. I always hear bad things, but when I was in Hawaii, that wasn't the case. All the lieutenants I ever known in Hawaii always asked privates, always asked specialists, on how to do things. They were never scared to be wrong, and they treat us with respect.
Which is amazing to hear, because a lot of times, I mean, that's kind of what they're supposed to be doing, like, or at least supposed to be, talking to the sergeants, talking to people, and getting to know what they're supposed to do.
And that's how it was over there. Now, when I went to Colorado, complete opposite. Terrible. It's like these lieutenants, especially the brand new ones, are like, they just knew everything, but they were wrong at every single step. Shoot, I think so. I was a specialist when I arrived in Colorado.
Okay.
And I was interested. No, I was doing everything right. I was parade rest, talking to them, and the privates next to me are brand spanking new, nervous, scared, and that's how they want us to be, scared. I was like, whatever. It's not my first time. It's like, hey, how are you doing, sir? Or hey, sergeant, how are you doing? Blah blah blah. I had confidence. They didn't like that. They didn't like I had confidence. I was like, and so they start coming after me. They started like treating me like crap. I'm like, it's like, am I wearing a private somewhere on here? I'm pretty sure I have over 3 years experience. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting, no matter what situation you go into, you seem to find people that, either have ego problems or, like, they don't like the fact that you're, confident, or feel good about yourself, and I want you to be low or something. It's weird.
Oh yeah. Well, truthfully, over there, they didn't like outsiders. Like that anybody came in, they just treated like trash. I already saw sergeants get treated like trash. I was like, one time I saw a specialist treating a sergeant like trash constantly. You want to recheck yourself?
He's like, there's a flip there. What the hell is going on?
And what's funny, the other sergeants were allowing it. And I got to the point where I took that private myself, and I was like, and start talking. That's not okay. And then I talked to the sergeant. He's like, you can't be allowing that to happen. They're gonna abuse that.
Sure.
And especially that sergeant's.
Well, is that the culture that they're breeding, though? Is okay to disrespect your higher ups, which is.
Oh yeah, it's because you're not part of the family. That was the big case. For me, it was the worst because I was injured the time I got to my second base. So I was a little screwed up. So I needed a lot of help. I was I had hip issues, back issues, and more than anything, they actually caused me more harm than me. Yeah.
So can I kind of go back a little bit? You mentioned you were injured. Like, so what was the situation, if you're okay with talking about it, that led you
to? So I had so back in Hawaii, I mean, besides being in the military, just firefights and all that. But what actually hurt me the most? No, that's funny. I've been through a lot of fun times in Iraq. But what was what's funny, the most dangerous part was being back in the States. And basically I was racing let's say we're doing sprints and we're doing competitions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one day something blew out in my leg.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I can't remember what it was. The PA, she told me, it's like, oh, it snaps. It'd be fine. It's one of those things you don't need to worry about, blah, blah, blah. Well, when it snapped, I collapsed at full speed.
Oh, shit.
I ended up landing on a big rock and hit my hip so hard it messed it up. Bad.
Did it out of place or something?
Huh?
Did it just push it out of place or just?
Yeah. They pushed it out of place, and it didn't cause a huge amount of damage, but it caused enough where it didn't heal. It just didn't come back right, and that got to the point where I was on profile for the rest of my time in Hawaii. And Yeah,
over a couple of years, is that what you're saying?
Altogether it came to 2 years till I finally healed. To the point where I was able to do something. Okay. While in the healing process, I was in Colorado, and oh yeah, they abused my profile many times, and yeah.
So how when you got there and they kind of knew that you were injured, like what was the initial, reaction, I would say, by the unit when you got?
They're saying, oh, you're faking it, you're just doing this. Basically, I'm just trying to get free money, do the work. I'm a total shitbag, all that. It's like, I've heard all that before, and that's cute. I mean, that's how you want to treat me. But it was funny that was actually a real thing that was going on with my freaking body. And what's funny, our doctors, how all the military doctors are.
Yeah,
most of them are trash. Most of them
have some differing opinions and stuff.
Yeah. Well, for 2 years they couldn't figure out what the problem is. They gave me X-rays and X-rays over X-rays. They couldn't find anything wrong with me. And one day they decided to give me a MRI after 2 years.
Oh, geez.
I was like, oh, you have some tearing.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to tell you. There's something wrong here.
So as soon as they figured it out, that's what they treated it for. So okay, physical therapy. I was in physical therapy for probably a year and a half.
Okay.
I had to change my diet because I was so used to eating like I was in Hawaii. Like my first sergeant, he always wanted to grab me to the side and go for a nice run because I was one of the top runners at the time.
Okay.
And we go running up Kolikoli Mountain, which is like a 9-mile run up there, like there and back. Yeah, up Kolikoli Mountain and back. Yeah.
How often did you run or do that?
He pulled me like 3 times a week. That's what it felt like. Yeah, about 3 times a week. And I would beat him every time.
Wait. So he pulls you aside and he has you go running with him, knowing that you're the best runner, but then you beat him every time. Like, what was his?
And then he'll say, "Hey, Noble, you're cheating." I'm like, "How am I cheating?
How am I cheating? It's my body. I'm moving."
No, he's laying on my shoes.
What?
My shoes. It's like he's saying your shoes are so stinking light. You're able to outrun me. I'm like, more than anything, no, you should be faster than me because I can feel every single rock. It's like stabbing in my foot. It was funny.
So all right. So you're on profile. Mm-hmm. You're dealing with the or you're dealing with how they're treating you and whatnot. I mean, what kind of kept you going, even though you kind of were experiencing that? What's that?
So my kids and my wife.
Okay.
Well, the wife totally fucked that up, but at least my kids. I mean, I love my kids. There's been. I got to the point that Colorado, that I'm not going to even mention the unit, but but they treated me like trash so bad. I got to the point I had to go to a therapist.
On your own. I mean, you decided like you wanted to, or somebody just said, "Hey, anyway, you got to go to a therapist."
I think it was both ways. I think the first time it was them, then it was me. Okay. Is one of those things you just don't admit to it.
Sure.
But yeah, I was going to a therapist for them, and I was going for my wife just because the wife was terrible. Terrible.
So how long were you married to your wife?
Well, technically, I was married for 5 years with her, but I was only with her for maybe 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's was there, I'm just trying to think, you're in that unit for 3 years.
Mhm.
Was there anything that was, I don't know, that anything else that you could, that you experienced in your unit versus, or other than, say, like you're, being seen as not really injured, like any other experiences that you could think of?
Truthfully, my prime in the military and my best time was my first unit in Schofield Barracks.
Hmm.
I mean, it was the best unit I've ever been in. Squared
Sure.
away, did everything as a family, no problem. Shoot, that was the unit that I deployed with, which was Samara.
Okay, so you did deploy. Okay, so
Yes,
there we
yes.
go. Let's talk about your deployment. So, now you guys, it wasn't voluntary, like sometimes with the National Guard or whatever. You were part of the unit, so you basically had to go, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like 5 days after my birthday. That's okay.
So how long did you guys? Okay, where did you? Okay, let me just think about it. So your MOB training, where did you go for your MOB training? Or you were there, based in there? Sorry, Kauai. That you were always training because you're there.
Mhm.
So where did you go on deployment?
So I went to Samara, Iraq.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes away from shoot, I remember. Was it 45 minutes away from Spiker and was it Cobb Spiker, and then I don't know, maybe an hour, probably about an hour away from Baghdad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now some people can look on a map, be like, okay, here's Baghdad, and okay, cool.
Yes. You know what? It was a lot of fun in Samara. It wasn't like enjoyable, like I'm going to the park, but actually, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of bad times. Yes, if you want to say that.
Oh yeah,
but,
I mean
but there was a lot of good times.
So let's start it off with it. So what was your initial like reaction when you got there? Like you boots on ground, you're there. What was your first thought that you're in a different country?
I was pointing my gun at everybody.
You were flagging everybody when you first got there, and you were all excited. So you're
No, I wasn't flagging everyone. No. It was everybody else. So all my buddies, no. I was flagging everybody that I didn't know.
Okay. So you were doing the 360s, and you were just making sure. Like, okay, so who are you? Looking at the local nationals, that kind of thing. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what was your mission? I mean, what were you guys there for? If you could.
Operation. Sorry, I have a speech impediment.
No worries.
Iraqi freedom.
Okay.
Yeah. Go sit him in the room, please. Go take him in the room. Yeah, that's my killer. He's a Russian bear dog. Anybody that comes to my house, he will kill.
Everybody that's listening, it's an awesome dog. So
yeah.
Well, it's a wolf, right?
No, the wolf died.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, somebody decided to kill my dog. No. But no, we ended up getting a Russian bear dog.
Okay. I think I need to look at some pictures, but we'll.
He's about 225 pounds.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I actually, it was a couple days ago. I was looking at random videos of different, like exotic dogs, or like the richest dog breeds, or the biggest dogs, and probably one of them was in there, but I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. So yeah, I was in Iraq. So my thought was, yeah, I'm pointing at everybody because it's a potential threat. I'm brand new, and I got the Screaming Eagles. That's the unit we're replacing. They're all looking at us. Calm down, okay? Calm down. All right? They're not gonna.
Yeah.
This is not like it's not Desert Storm, okay? It's not Desert Storm.
We've already. Okay, so when did you go? When did you go to Iraq then? So what?
Shit, I was back in 2008. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. From October 20th to October 20th, 2009, somewhere around there.
That's actually hilarious because October that same date is when I actually got into the military.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
When you got boots on ground, I'm getting the military. That's cool.
Right. So that was 5 days after my 21st birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So wait, so how did you I mean, you're in Iraq. How did you celebrate your birthday, if anything?
I celebrated
By flagging everybody. I get it. No.
No. I celebrated. So we deployed 5 days after my birthday. Okay. I got slobber knockers like bad. I mean, I was like puking blood, drinking too much.
Dude. Wait, were you one of those guys that were like I that you drank all the time, or it was just kind of like, special occasion?
No, we didn't drink all the time. It was more like drink all the time on the weekends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you enjoyed the weekends and your time off.
Yes.
Wait, I'm a second. So you're deployed and you're probably not enjoying your weekends, but at least you're no.
Yeah. So when we did deploy, after the birthday, of course, so our first thing you had to do was a patrol.
Okay.
We had a 12-mile patrol in 120-degree weather. That was tons of fun. 12 miles, I think we only did it 3 times in Iraq, and we said, "Screw this! This is stupid,"
Wait, so what was the temperature like in Hawaii? Like, I'm just curious. Like between Hawaii and going to Iraq.
Iraq wasn't hard for me at all on the heat. I feel like Hawaii was worse. So you have 120-degree dry. It's very dry.
Sure.
Right. Hawaii is very humid. I remember just get out of basic training, right?
Sure.
And I first arrived there, first day ACUs, and I had to go into the CQ. Okay, I'm in 3rd platoon, blah blah blah, and they had me go outside and follow my team leader out to his car in the parking lot. I know that was, I want to say 100 yards out.
Okay.
We go to the car. The time we got there, I'm not over exaggerating. I had a puddle of sweat underneath my feet when I got to the car. I was drenched. I was dying. And my sergeant's looking at me. He's perfectly fine. He's not even sweating, sure. Right? And he looks at me. He's like, "Hey, Noble, are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, it's just so hot."
I can relate. When we were at Fort Hood for our MOG training, I'd go from the barracks to our office, and it's across the road, and it was just amazing. I'd get into the office, and by the time I got across the road, it was like I was drenched, and I'm walking in there, and there's all these fans. I'm like, oh, thank God, there's fans. But yeah. So, anyways.
I want to talk about the Wolfhounds on that one. So the Wolfhounds had the older style barracks at the time I was there, right? So back in 2007, okay. Late 2007 and in 2008. So the Wolfhounds had the old style barracks. I think they had like 5 or 7 guys in a room.
Okay.
It was just terrible. I don't think they had AC. So I was lucky enough to be to get a barracks that was just freshly remodeled, right? And we had AC in every single room, key card with your military ID, AC cranked down to the coldest you can possibly get it. Yeah, it was literally like a freezer in our rooms. Yeah. So I remember one time I decided to take a visit over to the Wolfhounds because I had a buddy that was a medic over there.
Okay.
And I go in this room, I'm like, we're not drinking here. No. This is where I'm gonna get really dehydrated. I'm gonna end up going to the hospital. No.
Let's go to my room where it's really, really cold.
Yes. Yeah.
Probably a smarter idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to being in Iraq. So you did this 12-mile, whatever, the
Yeah.
ruck.
I did it with a 240 Bravo in my hands.
Okay. Oh, okay.
If carrying half my load, you know, what was it? What 400 rounds? And then AG.
So how many pounds was it that now you're now carrying?
Oh man, I can't remember how many pounds. I just know it sucked. You know, it was terrible. At first, you know, I was like, you know, I got this. No problem. 4 miles later, this is some bullshit, you know.
It's like what's on right now.
You know, 8 miles later, why are we doing this? Yeah. And then it got to the point we're coming back nighttime. I'm carrying 240 Bravo. Nighttime we have our night vision on, and it got to the point where we're starting hearing gunshots. You know, mm-hmm. I was like, okay, we start dropping down the burn, and of course, me dropping with I don't know 100. I don't know how many pounds it was. I'm falling to the ground, face to the ground. You know, I'm dying. Here I am. I'm ready with the 240 Bravo. My AG is next to me. He's getting my rounds ready and blah blah blah. And you know, I can't even remember what it was. I think it was just some freaking Iraqis shooting at dogs. You know,
so it's some random shit, and you guys are all preparing.
Yeah, because it's nighttime, can't see nothing.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you can react. I mean, that's kind of the thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, yeah.
So did you have any actual incidents that happened that were actually real, other than somebody?
We had quite a few. We had quite a few terrible ones.
Okay. I mean, if you want to talk about it, you can.
Oh no, I've talked about it so many times. It still gets to you. You know what? And anybody that's from my unit that's seen this video, it's gonna tear them up again. Sure. You know, but we had a private. His name was Private McCoon. Great guy. You know, perfect private, doing what he's told all the time.
Sure.
Scared to get in trouble. Perfect private.
One of those. Okay.
Yes. So one day they came back over. Shoot, what did they do? Oh, they had to do a raid.
Okay.
You know, they captured a high value target. You know, and he was in 1st platoon. I was in 3rd, but he comes back. They're across the street from us and sharing with the Navy SEALs, I think. I believe it was Navy SEALs / civilian detective or something. They're just with us, you know.
Yeah.
And he was cleaning his weapon. So one, they take their weapons, clear. They have to clear the gun, right? Clear the chamber. Everybody had to do that.
Oh no.
Everybody, but one person, and I think he did it on purpose.
Oh, dude.
So one day, Private McCoon was cleaning his gun, his M4, and he's doing what he was doing. And one day, Sergeant can't remember the hell his name, but he's in military prison still. Shot him right in the head.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, I wasn't there. It happened, but I tell you what, I was outside and I freaking heard it.
Yeah.
It was the base right across from us, and then all we hear is on the radio, the Private McCoon's down, and he's being rushed over to our base, which is like literally across the street.
Sure.
And he's in the aid station. I was like, there's nothing we could do. He's gone,
Yeah.
Shoot, there's been some areas where we got attacked. We're in our really nice MRAPs. Oh yeah, we get. I think one of the worst things was we got hit by some RKJ3s, I believe.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And then so what? I don't know if anybody knows what RKJ3s are, but basically,
if you want to explain them, I mean.
Oh yeah, it's basically a explosive device. It's basically a stick and a grenade, and you throw it just right, it'll go through armored vehicles like it's butter.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, and well, one day one hit the door, passenger side where the we call them TCs.
Yeah.
Which was a lieutenant.
The TC is tank commander, everybody. So.
Yeah. So one day it hit his door, it went through it amazingly, which I'm surprised because MRAPs can take a beating,
Yeah, they're pretty.
And it went through the place that it wasn't protected. It went right in his pit. Well, I'm sorry, this side, and we're right in his heart.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And we had a few more that was like that. It's terrible, but you know what? It's kind of expected. Yeah.
Things. Yeah, I mean, you're there to, things are going to happen. No, I get it. When I went to Afghanistan, the first 2 weeks we had an IED went off outside the gate. It was pretty serious. You could it was like a 500-pound blast or something, like 400 to 500-pound blast. So it was pretty serious. So yeah, I mean, we had another guy that got killed by a machete. That was shitty to hear, but things happen. But
here, how's this? Let me put out a little happy story.
Happy story. Okay, let's do a happy story.
So it's about me getting my CIB.
Okay.
Combat infantry badge, right? Because you get in combat. So I did get mine in combat. I just didn't know it,
which is rare because a lot of times people don't, and they still get it. Yeah. Okay.
So I didn't know it. The one effing time I was a gunner in a freaking MRAP, right?
Yeah.
The one time. The rest of it, I was like a driver because apparently I was the best driver. I had a lot of experience with, and because my parents trained me to compete, in rock crawling and all that mud.
You were a race car driver, is what you're saying?
I wasn't a race car driver. I just off-road for fun, sure. And then I competed for just being dumb, So I had a lot of experience in driving, and driving a MRAP was pretty easy for me.
Okay.
I think the only thing the Army had to do is train me how to back up a trailer. That's it.
Which is funny because a lot of times people don't know how to back up trailers in the military, and it's hilarious watching.
Oh no, that's true. I know so many people in the military didn't know how to back up trailer, but I tell you what, after everything they trained me, I'm like probably one of the best drivers to back up a trailer that I can think of. I moved this. I had to do it so many times.
So what's the longest trailer that you've been able to back up?
Well, I wasn't a trucker. Let's see, probably 20-something feet.
Okay.
Trailer. Yeah.
Which I think is pretty standard. I think among some of Like I remember like 224 had a 30-foot or something like that.
So you talking about the Army? No, just standard, cargo trailer like that's tall. That just carried the bare minimum. But it's the funny story is.
That's a funny story, and then I'm gonna ask you a question.
So we're going out. Apparently there's a issue. I can't remember what it was, but so I was in the gunner. I was waiting for action. It's like I'm on a 50 cal. I'm like, please to God, something happened. 50 cal time. It's like that's like the big boy gun.
Sure.
And of course, Doc Johnson, he's playing rock music. I was like, all right, getting some action going. But all I hear on the radio is, all right, RTB back. I'm like, okay, well, that's it. We're going home. Whatever. So about, I think 2 days later, right? It's, hey, Noble, you're getting your CIB. Like, what do you mean I'm getting my CIB? It's like, what do you mean? I didn't earn that, right? It's like, what do you mean, Noble? Apparently, nobody told me that I was being shot at by a sniper.
What? Okay.
So as soon as they told me that, right? As soon as they told me that, I went and grabbed my Mitch. I had a nice rip on my on my Mitch cover.
Really?
Yes, it actually grazed my helmet.
Okay.
I was like,
wait, how did you not notice that like when you took it off?
As you can see, get home. As soon as you get back to the base and go in your little Connex trailer home,
sure,
kind of thing, the first thing you do is you throw everything up. You just don't care. I'm hot as hell. I'm sweating through my body armor.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even notice, didn't care. Nobody told me anything. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go hit the gym. Which I went to the gym like 3 times a day.
Well, needless to say, you got sniped. Okay.
Yeah, and so that's how I got my CIB. And I was like, and I told him, you guys are just now telling me this
2 days later
on the comms,
Yeah, you should have just told me, hey, by the way, there was a sniper, and and it's gonna help us to get a CIB.
Yeah.
Thank you for the mission.
Right. Yeah. So that's how I got my CIB. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so I want to get into kind of the after you get out of the military. So you get out. So what was the last? I mean, because you do like a 3-year, and then you were done, or you just chose to get out of the military?
Well, so altogether, I almost completed 6 altogether. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, then you were actually, because you, okay, let me just tell the story, like how you got out of the military. I'm just curious.
All right, so the first station was in Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. I served time in Iraq. We had a few incidents. I mean, we had one. I had one of my best friends, Clark. I think he was probably in for like a month in Iraq. I mean, he had to go to Germany. He had a bad infection in his cheek. Yeah, he had a, what do you call it? Was it ulcer? Yeah, I think it was ulcer. It was so bad that his face was swelling up, and I guess it could have killed him. And so he had to be in Germany for almost the entire deployment.
Oh,
yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
So continue on. For some reason, I was a private most of the time in Iraq. Well, about half the time in Iraq, and I was a good private. I was a good private. Never argued. Did what he told, and because of that, I feel like I was abused. Hey, Noel, you want to do KP? I'm like, not really, not really. I was like, was like, well, you're doing it anyway. I'm like, I swear, it got to the point, right? They start calling me KP King. I was like,
Yeah, because you gave in every single fucking time.
right,
Like,
yeah, I know. Well,
KP.
yeah, I don't want to argue. Yeah, right. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Right. So yeah. So I got to the point where the cook got tired of seeing me being KP all the time. So he made me his assistant chef or whatever. So he taught me a lot of things in life. I mean, he taught me how to cook everything. I mean, I wasn't that great of a cook before I joined the Army, but Sergeant Agno, I'll tell you what, that was one amazing person I've ever met in my life. I mean, very humble. Kind of reminds me of Pacquiao a little bit. I mean,
Sure.
he's not a great fighter like Pacquiao, but I mean, he could throw a punch. But but no, he was a great guy. He always looked out for my back every single time. Taught me everything that I know now, like how to cook. I mean, besides my parents, but he taught me more than that. He was just a great guy, great leader. I mean, he was only E5 sergeant, but he was taking up the role as an E7. You know,
yeah, that's pretty different. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing person. You know, I love that guy. He was amazing. It's just one day he couldn't hack life because so many bad things happened to him.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Did he get out?
No. Well, he got out, but not alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
sounds like
after, huh?
No, I was gonna say sounds like a lot of things happened in your career.
Yeah. So after deployment, you know, basically we went back to Hawaii. About a week after deployment, I got hurt. Well, technically I got hurt in Iraq too.
But you exacerbated it and you made it worse when you got home. Okay.
Yeah. So you know, I'd never been hit and I'd never been shot. None of those things. But I did wreck my back pretty bad in Iraq. I got addicted to weightlifting, and it hurt. Yeah, and it hurt. I got to the point I was on steroids every single day. As I got to the point I was like almost paralyzed. I couldn't move out of my bed. It was bad. So they put me on steroids because after a month I wasn't getting any better. So they started giving me shots, started giving me pill forms, and I'm like, in a week, okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
And yeah, right, yeah, no problem. I'm like, yeah, no problem. So after I get out of, you know, and get back in Hawaii, we're doing sprint runs. You know, I was telling the lieutenant, it's like, no, I'm not a sprinter. I'm a long distance runner.
You're a distance runner, yeah.
Distance. I can run marathons all day, no problem.
It's hard to have a distance runner do sprinting and a sprinting runner do distance running.
Yes.
So okay, go ahead.
And so I decided to take a sprint, and about 4 or 5 sprints in, just races each other, sees the fastest, right? And one day something snapped in my leg. I don't know what it was. It was some kind of tendon. I don't know. Obviously, I had to go to the PA because I'm freaking yelling. You know, I'm like in pain. And apparently, it was a captain. She told me, yeah, you'll be okay. It's one of those things that snap and it'll just heal fine, whatever. I'm like,
clean.
But that doesn't sound right.
Yeah. So clean snap? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
So yeah, so I healed, and then I tried getting back on my feet, and it was wrong, and just kept getting wrong. You know, I get put back on profile. It got to the point I was on the highest profile, P3 profile.
Yeah, was that close to permanent? Is that permanent then?
Yeah, it's close. Technically, it's when you're on P3, you have to go through a process to make it permanent. But
Sure.
I was basically, I couldn't do nothing, like absolutely nothing.
So with that being said, so what led you to finally getting out of the military?
A lot of bad things happened in my life. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this: Hawaii is my family, and I love every single person that was in that unit.
Sure.
But in my second unit, you know, it was hard for me.
It wasn't the same thing. So
exactly, I was a complete outsider to them. You know.
So when you get out of the military, how was that like? You know, the difference between being in the military and not being in the military anymore.
It was wow. It was hard. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I was so used to being told what to do. You know, that shouldn't be an excuse. I'm a freaking adult. You know, but I got so reliant. You know, what direction do I need to go? Blah blah blah
Sure.
blah blah. You know, and then it wasn't just that. It's more like personality wise. You know, let's just say I was a certified dick. You know, I had no filter whatsoever. If I had a problem with it, I straight up told you that. You know, including my boss. I was like, if you're ate up, I'm gonna let you know. You know, and
so you're talking about now as being out of the military that you were a complete dick.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was. Some of them I'm used to being in the Army, and I became a civilian. It was kind of hard.
So okay, so you get out of the military, you're being a dick. Like, how long did it take you to kind of realize, okay, maybe I shouldn't be a dick? Or was there any transition? Like, you're like that thought process going, okay, or did somebody tell you, hey, you might want to tone it down a little bit? Was there anything like that?
No, actually, no. Not all. I had to discover that for myself, because it got to the point where I went homeless. Oh. You know, my family and I, we went homeless, and it got to the point where I got to my uncle Jesse. He took in my family at the hardest time in my life, and I stayed on this floor. The kids got the spare room. Sure. We were there for like a year. It was hard. You know, I was bouncing job to job. You know, it was hard to keep a job, especially being a temp. Sure. I felt like my job line was not the best match to get a job. I mean, being a lot about, I should have been a sheriff, I should have been a cop, something like that. But that didn't work as planned, you know, and you know, that's life. Things don't always work out. You need to have a backup plan. And, so did you seek any help at all? Like, that's the problem. I had a problem with seeking help. Sure. I had problems seeking help that had mental issues. I problems like help with, you know, just helping. The only person I could rely on was my uncle. Sure. You know, at the time, you know, I mean, I love my mom, but it's just where my uncle was living. That's where all the work was at, you know. Sure. And go ahead. Yeah, and so they got to the point that my family had to start forcing me to do things. You know, I was like, Jake, you need to go see a doctor. Say, I think you might have PTSD. You know, it wasn't so much PTSD in my sleep. You know, it was. I'm sorry. When I was awake, no. It's when I was sleeping. I did crazy stuff in my sleep, and like kicking or something like that, or like. I got some funny stories. Yeah, we can talk about those at some point. Yeah. Yeah. So okay, so your PTSD is manifesting in your sleeping pattern. Yes. and I'm literally attacking everybody that disturbs me. Like because in my mind, I'm not. Especially when I wake up, it's like I'm not really awake. I'm literally